Hello world of YouTube. As mentioned in my part 1 of this Primus review, I don't have my intro anymore because I had to unintentionally split it up into multiple parts, and that's my mom's finger. And this is part 2 of the Primus Discography review of the EPs, where I talk about Miscellaneous Debris, Rhinoplasty, and Animals Should Not Try to Act Like People, and the June Rehearsal EP that they released last year. Again, you'll see how long my hair is, because this is when that was filmed. So yeah, here is intro to part 2 now!
The next album they released was called Miscellaneous Debris, and it was released in 1992, and this is actually an EP full of covers that they did, and they cover, Peter Gabriel, XTC, The Residents, The Meters, and Pink Floyd. And anytime you hear Primus cover a song, it's interesting because they make their own spin on it, which usually is what a cover should be, but some bands should just stick to the way the band did it. But Primus does a really good job with it. They just I have actually never heard most of these originals. I'm sure they're great songs, but I like the Primus versions. They're good. They sound a little bit different for Primus concerning the last 2 albums, but they're still retaining that Primus-y taste to the songs. I have heard Have a Cigar, though, which is the Pink Floyd song they cover, and that's actually my favorite off the album, mostly because I've heard the original, and I like the Primus version, so yeah. But, that's pretty much all I can say. It's a short EP, it's 5 songs, about to do 4. It's 5 songs. This is great. It's a good little pickup. If you ever find it on Amazon or something, I'd get it. It's pretty good. It's a good little taste of Primus covering stuff. And the next album they released was an EP called Rhinoplasty that was put out in 1998. And this album is a cover album for the most part, but there's also a remix of Too Many Puppies on it, along with 2 live albums, one being Tommy the Cat and the other being Bob's Party Time Lounge. One of them has a drum solo in it, and it's a really good drum solo. But, the rest of the album, the covers, all sound really good. I've never heard the originals for most of them, except for The Thing That Should Not Be, which is a Metallica cover. They also cover XTC again, Peter Gabriel again, Stanley Clarke, and Jerry Reed, and The Police. And, I've never heard any of the originals from the other, songs, but they still sound really good. I think that they were trying to go more towards what the originals sounded like on here. I wouldn't know, guys, again, never heard the originals, but it's still solid. The live albums are really, really good quality, and the remix is pretty good. It's darker. It gives a darker feel to the song, and yeah, that's about it. My favorite song is The Thing That Should Not Be cover, because it's interesting to see a band of 3 perform a song that was done by a band of 4. Les doesn't do the bass track; he does the rhythm guitar track on the bass. So yeah, and to hear them sing that song is just really interesting. Yeah. The next album they released was an EP called Animals Should Not Try to Act Like People, and this had a return for Tim Herb Alexander, the drummer that was on like the first 5 albums. And this is a very long EP for it being only 5 songs. It's about 30 minutes. The songs are long, but they're great songs. Or at least 3 of them are very long songs, but they're really good songs. Like Carpenter the Dainty Bride is a good opening song. It's kind of creepy-ish. It's tinged with creepiness, which is good for Primus. And it's got a song like My Friend Fast, which is, I don't know, it's a very just interesting song. The songs on here are just very oddly tempoed at times. Like Mary the Ice Cube is a very strange song, but it's a really just chill album. It's chill and like kind of heavy, but it's a good song. The only song that's not really chill is Pillager Squad. That's still a really good song. The songs are just really good. I realized I've said that a lot in this. It's kind of pork soda-y. It's kind of going back to that pork soda, Tales from the Punch Bowl strangeness, but it's still really good. They all sound really, really good. It's refreshing to hear Tim back on the drums. He's my favorite of the 3 drummers that they've had in the studio. Large transition change between the last clip and this clip, and that's because my camera got full and I had to empty all that stuff out, and then I just got distracted with video games that I couldn't film until later on in the morning. I still have not slept, so I still have to edit this and put it up for you guys. Enjoy! My favorite song off of the album is probably either My Friend Fats or Carpenter and the Daisy Bride, because those two songs are awesome. And the next thing they released was a rehearsal EP, which they put out in June of this year, and it's free. I'll put a link to the download in the under thingy. It's 4 tracks, 2 off of Frizzle Fry, 1 off of Sailing Seas of Cheese, and 1 off of the Brown album. They do Pudding Time, American Life, Dutch with the Proverbial Mind, and they close it with Harold on the Rocks. And the American Life is the long version that I love so much, because I love American Life. But, this EP also remarks the return of Jay Lane, who was in Primus before they released anything. He was like the session drummer, and I guess the live drummer before they were like, let's record stuff. So yeah. And people have been giving him crap because he's not Tim, but the guy's got some good chops, and he fills the shoes of Tim fairly well. It's also interesting to hear them play these songs now, especially American Life, because Les sings some of the songs differently, like in a different style. He sounds differently. The band just plays it in a different way, somewhat. And it's an interesting lesson if you listen to the way it originally was and the way it's presented now. It's a different contrast, and I like it. And plus, it's free, so why not get it? It's 4 songs, it's free, it's a good little snippet of Primus if you don't, if you're not sure you're comfortable to getting a full album or listening to a full album. Just get this, it's free, it's a little snippet of Primus sound, I'd get it. But, yeah, that's Primus. I'm gonna edit this now, and then I'm probably going to just collapse, because I haven't slept yet.